Hey everybody, this is Adam at Archery Country. In this video, we're going to talk about how to properly execute 3 different types of releases: a hinge, an index, and a thumb button release. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of those, and by properly executing each type of release, it's going to help mitigate target panic, and it's also going to increase your accuracy downrange, and your overall enjoyment of archery is going to go up. So stay tuned, we're going to go through those. We're going to start out with the index finger, which is the most common release out there. First release that we're going to go over is going to be an index trigger release. I set mine up so it's short, and that way I can get my finger deep around that trigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull through that shot, moving my hand through the release. I'm not going to isolate my finger movement to the trigger, and I'm not going to be out here on my finger pad. I want to make sure I'm deep in there where there's less nerve endings, and I want a trigger that I can set up heavy enough that I'm not going to be afraid to get on it. I get settled in, I just start to aim, and I already have my finger on the trigger, and then I just pull through my shot. And so, to show you, I'm going to hook it on, draw back, get settled in, and again, I'm going to set it deep. I'm going to be past that first knuckle, got my finger in front, and then I'm just going to pull through the shot. And so if a release is properly executed, you shouldn't even really see your fingers move. Again, I'm moving my hand through that release. And by doing so, I'm just pushing to the target and back, so when the shot breaks, it naturally is a forward and back movement with that release hand. Next release we're going to go over is going to be a thumb activated trigger release. Again, just like the index finger trigger, I want mine set up heavy enough where I can feel confident by getting in front of that trigger. I'm not going to set it off. So I have mine set heavy, and also getting set up deep on that release. Get deep down into your knuckles, not out there on the fingertips. Again, this will help not isolate that movement to where you just want to touch it off. Get in front, and we're going to move our hand through the release. So same theme as what the index finger release was. Clipping that on. Draw anchor aim. Get my thumb set on that. And I'm just going to focus on pulling through with my thumb and pinky. Again, shouldn't really see much for finger movement, just building up that pressure, pulling through that shot. Shot breaks, forward and back movement with my bow arm and release hand. The last type of release that we're going to go over today is going to be the hinge release. So this one, different than the first two we went over, there is no index or thumb activated trigger. This works off basically a hinging motion, the rotation of this release. By doing so, this hook is riding on a sear. We transfer the pressure to the top end of the release. These 2 fingers, or if there's a 4th finger, these 3 fingers, also while relaxing this index finger. And then you can hear that there's going to be a click in there, and then it's going to fire. The click is just to let you know that the release is about to fire. Some releases have that, some releases don't. It's all personal preference. To demonstrate, just going to do this at full draw. So we set the release. When we draw back, we're going to have all the pressure basically in our index finger. By doing so, the release will not fire. So we're going to draw back, get settled into the peep. I'm going to rotate this until it clicks. There's the click. I'm going to continue my aiming process, and at the same time, I'm going to start transferring the pressure from my index finger to the top end of my hand by pulling through this release. And just like that. Different releases are going to have some modifications on distance from click to fire, and that's something that you can fine tune as an archer. The main thing is draw back with all your pressure in the index finger, get settled in, get that pin towards the center of the target, rotate to the click. That way you're starting at a consistent point each and every time, and then just focus on pulling through that release with the top end of your hand and evaluate that motion, push and pull, and then it'll go off. So again, the hinge, very, very, very common release that we're seeing more and more today. A very solid release that has multiple functions, whether it's a training tool or just to improve your overall archery form and release execution. There are many different types of releases out there, whether it's a thumb or an index or a hinge type release. There's many different types, and not all releases are the same. Some are more adjustable than others. But the key message is properly activating and executing that release is going to ensure that you get the most out of your investment. If you have any questions on these releases, coming into one of our 3 shops. We're fully stocked on each one of these kinds. We have different models for you to try out, and we can help walk you through the proper execution. So if you have any questions on these, we can be there to help you. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. We got a lot more archery content coming out. Make sure to put some comments out there. What's your favorite type of release? Which one have you had the most success with? Which one are you most curious to try? Again, like and subscribe. Thank you for your time.